Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to discuss
And low level language.
that is security and ethics. Let's get started.
If you are new here, this channel is all about educative stuffs. So don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell and smash that like button for instant updates. Hello guys, welcome to this video where we are going to solve an IGCSE Computer Science Paper 2 Section B paper. So the paper code for this paper which you're going to solve now is 0478 slash 22 slash October November 2018. So yes, without further ado, let's start. The first question of section B is to write an algorithm using pseudocode to input three different numbers and then multiply the two larger number out of these together and output the result. So in this program, we have to use the variables number 1, number 2 and number 3 for our numbers and answer for our result. So the first block of code here will be inputting three different numbers. If we read the sentence clearly, it says input three different numbers. So that means the number 1, number 2 and number 3 should not at all be equal. And if they are equal, we have to input it again. And this is what this block of code does. We'll be repeating the output and input statement here until number 1 is less than or greater than number 2 and number 2 is less than or greater than number 3 and number 3 is less than or greater than number 1. So what this less than or greater than means is that, let's take an example like if number 2 is has a value of 5, so that means number 1 should be greater than 5 or less than 5. And if all the statements here in the until is been satisfied, then the algorithm will be moving to the next piece of code. So this piece of code here will be checking for the largest two numbers and it will be multiplying it and will be stored in the answer variable. So in this first if statement, it is written as the condition that has been written in this if statement is that number 3 less than number 2 and number 3 is less than number 1. So if number 3 is less than number 2 and number 3 is less than number 1, that obviously means number 1 and number 2 are the largest two numbers. So the answer will be stored as number 1 into number 2. And these kind of things have been rearranged in these two statements and it generates an answer. Like in the second if statement, number 2 is less than number 3 and number 2 is less than number 1. So that means number 1 and number 3 is greater and we are multiplying it here and storing it in the answer. The likewise here too, where number 1 is less than number 2 and number 1 is less than number 3. So we are multiplying number 2 and number 3 and storing it as answer. And finally they have told us to output the result. So that's what we are doing here. Usually in pseudocode, to output a statement or a number or any kind of things, we just need to add a phrase or a word which is output. So in this algorithm, we need to output the answer. So we are doing it by output answer equal to answer. So this answer equal to here is a string and this answer is the variable that is the result of the multiplication that has been done in these if statements. So yes, this is all about 2a. So let's move on to 2b. So the question in 2b is give two sets of test data to use with your algorithm in part A and explain why you choose each set. So we have to enter two test data to check whether our algorithm runs perfectly or does the task correctly. So the first test data which we can input is that same three numbers. For an example, 777. The reason for this is our algorithm in part A should reject this and ask the user to re-input the numbers. Since if we have read the first question, which is the part A question, the algorithm should input three different numbers. So when we input three same numbers, our algorithm will reject it and ask for the input again. And our second test data is a normal test data. It is just 7, 8, 9. And the reason for this is a normal data and the answer should be 72. Coming to the next question, what they have asked us to do is there are 4 programming concepts and 4 descriptions are shown. Draw a line to connect each programming concept to the most appropriate description. So we have to connect the programming concept with the app description. So first let's see what a library routine is. A library routine is a debug block of code or a subroutine often designed to handle commonly occurring problems or tasks. So the best suitable description for this would be a standard subroutine that is available for immediate use. So yes, we can just draw a line from the library routine to this description. And the second one, which is structure diagram. A structure diagram is like it shows the hierarchy or a structure of different components in a system or a application. So the best description for this is an overview of the program or subroutine. So coming to the procedure, I actually don't know how to tell it as a definition, but I'll just give you an example. Like if there is a 5-line code, then then the program should run the first line of code first, then the second line of code next, then the third line of code next, then the fourth, then the fifth. So that is a procedure. And when you look at the two descriptions, which is a subroutine that does not have to return a value, a subroutine that always returns a value, a procedure doesn't need to return a value. So this would be the best app description. And coming to the function, a function is a block of organized reusable code that is used to perform a single related action. So the best description for the function will be a subroutine that always returns a value. Because a function is a code, it actually processes something and it will always return a value. So that is why we are saying a function. So that is why we are choosing this description. So yes, this is about the third question. So let's move to the fourth question. A programmer wants to test the readings from 2000 electricity meters are greater than 400 units and less than 900 units. The programmer uses selection and repetition statements as part of the program. Explain using programming statements how selection and repetition could be used in this program. A selection is to select something, and to select something there should always be a condition. So the selection will always use a conditional statement in programming wise. So in this case, or according to this question, the selection will be using an if statement to check the values of the meter readings whether they are above 400 and less than 900 units. And this can be written in programming statements like if reading greater than 400 and reading is less than 900, then whatever the programmer needs to do can be done. So repetition is nothing but iteration or doing a particular thing again and again. So the use of repetition in this question is that the programmer wants to test 2000 electricity meters. So he can't just read all those values from the electricity meters at once. He has to go one by one. So at the time he can use repetition where the for loop can be used to check all the 2000 meter readings. Example, so this can be written as programming statements like this. For meter equal to 1 to 2000, then next whatever the programmer needs to do or to get the readings from them. So this 4 lines will fetch you 4 marks. Awesome, right? So yes, let's move to the next question. So coming to the fifth question, the question is the flowchart checks the level of chlorine and the depth of water compared to the height of the swimming pool. Error messages are output if a problem is found. So let's see this flowchart later. First, let's come to this. So the A part of the question is complete the trace tables for each set of input data. The input data is 6, 2.5 and 2. So that means the height is 6, the depth is 2.5 and the chlorine amount is 2. And let's see here in the flowchart. Yes. we are inputting height, depth and chlorine. And the OK here is also set to true. So that means the trace table here in the OK column should also be true. Then going by the flowchart, is depth greater than height by 2? Depth is 2.5 and the height is 6. So 6 by 2 is 3. So no, it is not greater. And then is depth less than height by 3? No. Is chlorine greater than 3? No. Is chlorine less than 1? No. Is OK equal to true? Yes. So the output should be pool OK to use. And so in the output column we can write pool OK to use. So going to the next test table, the input data here which is given is 4, 3 and 1.5. So the height is 4, the depth is 3, the chlorine amount is 1.5. And as said, the OK is set to true always. So OK is true. So going here, is depth greater than height by 2? Yes, it is greater. So output water too deep. So output water too deep. So yes, we have to output here water too deep. And then what happens is the OK is set to false. So in the next column we have to write OK equal to false. Then after that what happens is it comes here, is chlorine greater than 3? No. Is chlorine less than 1? No. Is OK equal to true? No. So the program will end. So going to the next trace table, the input data for this is 6, 3.5 and 4. So the height is 6, the depth is 3.5, the chlorine amount is 4 and the OK is always set to true at the first stage. So going by the flowchart, is depth greater than height by 2? Yes. So the water is too deep and the OK is also set to false. We can just write it here, water too deep and the OK is set to false. And after that what happens is chlorine greater than 3? Let me just check it. Yes, the chlorine is greater than 3. So the flowchart will be outputting too much chlorine, add more water. And this should also be put in the trace table, whereas too much chlorine, add more water. And after that, yes, it just comes here and ends. The program has ended. Coming to the B part of the question, identify a problem with the algorithm that the flowchart represents. So if you see the flowchart, there isn't a validation check. Like the inputted values can be also negative. Like if it is negative, then it is of fake values. Like they are all imaginary values. How can height be -1? How can depth be -1? It can't be, right? So that is what. It is a problem with the flowchart and that needs correction. They have just asked the problem, so we can just write no validation. Example allows a negative height or depth or amount of chlorine. So let's move on to the next question. So coming to the last question of this video and the section. A database table portrait is used to keep a record of the portraits available from a photographic studio. Each portrait has a unique reference number PICCN, where n is a single digit, for example PIC123. The studio keeps a record of the size, for example 20x15, the type black and white or color, and price in dollars. Complete the table to show the most appropriate data type for each of the fields. So the field reference number, the data type that will be best suiting for this reference number would be a text, because if you look back in the question, they have said that the reference number is a combination of numbers and characters. So the best suited thing would be a text, and then for the field size, the best suited data type will also be text. So for the field type, which is black and white or color, the data type that can be used will also be a text. Coming to the field price in dollars, the best suited data type to store like price or a number would be a integer or a currency. Both is right. So going to the B part, the results from the query by example grid should show the reference number, price, type and size of all portraits under $50. Identify the three errors in the query by example grid. So we'll just look at the question again. They have said to show reference number, price, type and size. That means you have to show the reference number, price, type and size. Whereas in the show column, the reference number is being ticked. So the reference number will be shown. The price in dollars is ticked, but the type is unticked. But they have asked us to show type. So this is an error. So the error 3 should be the show in the type field must be ticked. And then the next error is that the reference number. It is not number, it should be number. So this is an error. So the error 1 is incorrect field name for reference number. And then the error 2 is that all portraits should be under $50. So if it is under $50, it should be the sign, the crocodile mouth should be oppositely turned. It should be less than 50, but here it is greater than 50. So the error 2 is that incorrect criteria for price in dollars. It should be less than 50. So yes guys, we have now come to the end of the video and we have successfully completed IGCSE Computer Science Paper 2. So thank you.